I love the safety dance episode.
Oh, thanks. Thanks.
It's really great. It was a big deal.
Yeah.
For Artie.
Yeah. It was.
Was it a big deal for you?
Oh, yeah. Ryan told me very early on that there would not be any dream sequences, that Artie would not be getting out of the chair. I was like, yeah, that's fine. Like, you're writing this. This is your show. Sure. I'm just happy to be here. Like,
Literally.
I'm not asking for a dream sequence. And then he wrote one like 7 episodes later. And so, yeah, it was really fun. Like, we shot it at a real mall, and that was open during the day, but no one knew what the show was at the time because it wasn't out yet. And I invited like my mom and my sister. I'm like, come to this mall at this time. And they showed up, and it was like me and like 30 dancers. They're like, what the? I'm like, surprise. Like, what is this show? I'm like, just wait. I think it's going to be good.
How would you learn the choreography? Like, did it come natural to you? I mean, also, like, you're in the chair, so like,
Yeah.
that's a whole different thing.
Well, being in the boy band, we were a dancing boy band. And so I was used to that. Like, I could do a little 5, 6, 7, 8, you know? I could get it together if I needed to. I was very nervous because at that point I felt like we had been doing the show already for so long and I hadn't been dancing. The wheelchair, like picking it up in the wheelchair was honestly pretty easy because I would just adapt whatever they were doing. Because again, I had been dancing for years and I was like, all right, I'll just figure out how to sort of mimic this.
Interesting.
With the chair. Yeah. There wasn't this probably isn't great. There wasn't necessarily a lot of thought put into how I was going to learn it. I just, from the very beginning, was like, oh, I know how to sort of adapt that.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
Yeah. And so Zach, the choreographer, was just like, yeah, if that looks good, it looks good. And if there were any issues, then I could like talk to he and Brooke, who were the assistant choreographer, to like.
Is there anybody
figure
on
out.
set like who's like actually in a wheelchair, like coaching you through how to use it, or like
No.
making sure anything is correct?
No, they left that up to me, which was
wild. That doesn't make any sense.
No, it's like I did what I could, like prep before the pilot of like speaking to people who were actually in chairs, like, so because I was nervous about like representing a community but at that time people who were.
It's a very common thing, and it's also a very common thing in TV world.
Back then it was very common,
but also it was up until Superstore. So
yeah, yeah, and so I was just like trying to do my due diligence, and then when at the end of season, I think it was the beginning of season 2, I came to get. They were fitting me for a new chair, and the man who worked for the company who was in a chair who came to measure me, he was like, by the way, how you're sitting in the chair is incorrect. And I was like, and I could tell he was nervous to tell me that.
My heart just sank.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God. He's like, yeah, we don't sit like that. We sit like this. And I was like, I really appreciate you telling me that. And I was horrified. I was basing it off of somebody that I had met. But generally, I think people do not sit how I was sitting season 1. So if you watch it, I suddenly start sitting differently in season 2. And I was horrified. I really appreciated him telling me that because, like, it's my one job is to get this as right as possible.
It's also a huge responsibility.
Yeah, but I mean, this guy's showing up to, like, fit somebody in a chair who's not actually in a chair, and he showed up and was kind enough to, like, impart those words on me, and I was just very much appreciative, and I was like, that had to be very uncomfortable for him to do that, this whole situation.
But that representation matters, though. So
yeah.
To do it right is also.
I mean, I got to meet so many parents of little kids who like never seen a character on TV in a chair before, and that was just like the most wonderful, wonderful thing. And they're like, "That's me," and like so many stories like that, and it never ever gets old, and just really wonderful. It's like I grew up in LA. I was just trying to get hired for anything. And then you get on this show that ends up meaning a lot to so many people. And yeah, you can't ever predict that. I was happy to have a check. like I was broke, brokety broke, and to be able to like sing and dance and act, do all the things I love to do in a fun that's like has weird dark humor, and then get to go on tour. It checked all these boxes that you're just like, what is happening?